on the Big Joel Community Call, Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. This week, I've got a really cool guest. I've had him on here before, but I could have him on here a couple times a year. He's always fun, always has good stuff going on. He's a young buck, Kevin O'Loughlin, coming in hot out of Pittsburgh, PA. Great story because he's not even from Pittsburgh, but he's dominating there. He is a Buffalo Bills fan. What's it called? Oneida. What's that place called you're from? Oh, something. What's it called? You're muted.
Only in New York.
Olean. All right, Olean. I had to Google it. And look it up. But he's a Buffalo Bills fan, but he is a Pittsburgh loan officer. Just a little bit of very quick housekeeping. We have got a lot of requests on this. We do have a new crush group starting. I think there are 2 seats left in it right now. Starts this Friday. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern. Crush group. If you are remotely interested, please let us know. Josh will put the link in the chat. For those of you that are new to this call, we do have the chat working. If you have a question, please feel free to put it in the chat and we will get to it as long as it's a good, legitimate question. So we've got Kevin O'Loughlin today. Exciting. This guy is crushing a ton of units. Those of you that know me know that I could care less about volume. The only thing I care about is units because units always equal volume. Kevin, what's your average loan amount, by the way? Did it creep up? What is it right now?
A little bit. I think I'm at 220 this year.
Yeah, big whopping 220. So for those of you all in 480 land, you can only imagine. Kevin, I always tell people that's why I can relate to you so well. My average loan amount was like 129 when I started. I'm always like, do you realize how many loans we had to close to get paid anything with a loan amount that low? So Kevin originates in Pittsburgh, PA. He's really a hardcore purchase guy. Of course, he's taking refinances for his clients. You all have heard me say this lots and lots of times. You should never be refi focused. Refis go away. Good originators are going to have refinances be 8 to maybe 10% of their book of business in any market, meaning even if the rates are 12%, people are refinancing to send kids to school, people are getting divorces, things are going on that create what I call non-rate refinances. Right now, we mainly have a bunch of rate refinances, but we do have, and Kevin, I'm going to ask you about this, just see what's going on up there. We do have some people trying to get at their equity, though, that bought a year ago right now, still have a low rate, their house appreciated in a big way, and they can actually refi with the same rate they have, which is kind of interesting and get a little equity out. But Kevin is a purchase money specialist. He is a relationship guy. And Kevin, awesome to have you on. What are you tracking right now, units for the year? What are you looking at if you extrapolate for 2021 units right now, just to give everyone a feel?
I think we're on track for like 650 to 700.
That's beautiful. And what did you close last year, units?
Oh shit. I don't even know, man.
High fives, right? We're close to 600.
We did just. I think we ended up closing like 110, 115 million or something like that. So I think we were. Yeah, so 450, 500.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
That.
So big ups for Kevin. And, there's a lot of people this year. They're having a good year, but not as good as 220 as 2020. So, that's doing the hard work. Kevin, not to put you on the spot, but, there's a lot of people on this call. They've been on the roll that everyone's on. They're making a lot of money right now. There's a lot of people buying second homes and cool cars and things like that. And I don't think anybody wants that role to stop. What are the types of things that you're doing every day to make sure that role doesn't stop and it keeps going up, especially regarding purchase business? Give people some hints into what you do. What time do you get up in the morning? What are the things you're doing?
Man. So, and there's one of my agents. Let me turn that off. So I'm an early guy. So I wake up every day about 5 and always start with a workout. I feel like if I don't work out in the morning, like I'm just going to lose the day just because I'm not mentally capable to like take on the challenges throughout the day and stay level-headed. So that's definitely probably one of the most important things to me. And then really I log on probably I'm looking at my emails at the gym just to make sure there's nothing on fire. But, from 7 a.m., 7:30 in the morning till I try to stop about 7 p.m. at night. I mean, it's just active, like on the grind, taking the calls, just trying to be proactive as much as possible. But obviously we're in such a reactive business that there's only so much you can do. But as far as, marketing activities and how we're getting the at bats, for us, we are onboarding some new agents here or there, but for the most part, it's really like over the last 4 years was all onboarding agents and trying to get out there. And now we're hyper focused on, if we're working with an agent, we want to capture more than 30% of their buyers. And if we're not, probably not a good fit because they don't like what we do. And we feel as though we bring more to the table than any other LO in the market. So that's kind of our goal, is really to hone in on capturing more of and working with less, essentially.
So just to translate that, going deep. So you've done the work, you've done the dating, and now you're going deep. And what type of activities is it literally B2Bs? I mean, is it just hard grind with you going deep? Is it slow grind? Relationships are a marathon, not a sprint?
Yeah, I mean, it takes so long, but I feel like the agents that we've worked with over the last couple of years, they're creating opportunities for us. They're introducing us to people. So it's like, we don't have to do what we once did, but we're still super visible. Like a colleague of mine told me one time early in my career, like, whoever's the most visible in the marketplace will do the most business. And that's the most simplistic terms and saying, but it's so true. So we are very focused on our visibility in the marketplace, our marketing, our past client marketing. We're doing an event at least every other month. We're constantly engaging with agents, doing open houses, builders. Like, we definitely are out there. So we're still attracting, but we've made this shift, like the first 2 years was all like attract. And now it's like, okay, who the heck is referring us and how can we get more from them?
So did everybody hear that? Those of you that are on this call that have been through a crush group or know me pretty well, if you're looking at your platoon, if you're looking at your platoon system, your platoons, your company, your division, basically, what Kevin is doing, and nothing would make me prouder if it wasn't on his desk somewhere, but he's looking every day at where that business is coming from and looking for opportunities to go deeper. Those of you, a lot of y'all have heard me say this before, but I don't think I can say it enough. For every agent partner that you get one transaction from, there are two that you did not get. One of them, the client said they were pre-approved and your agent partner folded like a cheap tent in a 1 mile an hour wind and said, okay. The other one, they were at a party and someone was talking about mortgages and they didn't throw the person to the ground and say, you need to call KO right now if you need a mortgage. So that's two right there. You're getting one, you don't have two. You can take that 1 to 3 by deepening the relationship all day long. And it's arguable that it's easier to take that 1 to 3 than it is to get that first one. So, looking at where your business is coming from, knowing where it's coming from all the time, I'm always talking about this, about the push. And Kevin, it's interesting, be very interesting for you. I forget, we met each other a long time ago now, but the interesting for you to look at, those months, okay, close 10 loans, 10 agents, 20 loans, 18 agents, 30 loans, 23 agents, 40 loans, 25 agents, 50 loans, 28 agents. Then you turn around and you start looking at that, and everyone, the best loan officers in the country, Kevin is one of them. If he's closing 60 loans, by the way, everyone, that's not 60 referrals from 60 agents. Okay. What you're hearing him say is he's pushing to get that number to be like 18 or something. Like he closed 60 loans with 18 partners, which is much easier to maintain and much easier to spend time with and go deep with. And Kevin, is that like literally one of your singular focuses, just to drive that ratio, more from less? Obviously, you're not going to turn down a new agent, but more from less. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And I mean, we do turn down agents, you know. I mean, we're really focused on, you know, some of these newer agents that are super, they need a lot of attention right now. We may not be the best fit, you know. And I hate to say it, but you know, I can't spend an hour on a phone with an agent, you know, walking her through what a cost sheet is. Like so it's like we have to turn down some people, but like I think that one of the problems that I see in the industry where I am trying to be completely different than most is I see so many loan officers that have an awful work-life balance. You know, they have these agents boss them around, and we have to, as you're building, you have to do that, right? You have to pick up the phone. If you don't, like, they're going to go to the next person. But I'm really hyper focused on how can I run this as a business? How do I get more from less people? And just instead of focusing on staying in front of 50 agents, how can I focus on 25 agents, capture 30+%, and like give them unbelievable service, you know?
And I bet that number, Kevin, I bet if we were sitting with a calculator, I think you're shorting yourself on 30. I think that may be a goal, but if you're doing what I know you're doing, that number is like 70 with a bunch of
Right.
people. I mean, you're literally getting anything possible. You know, if the people aren't paying cash, you know, like your platoon people. So everyone, you know, listen to this message. Number one, do you even know where your business is coming from? I mean, literally, can you sit every month and really look at that? I mean, do you know? And then if you know, are you concentrating on getting more from those people? Because guess what? They have more. They have more referrals. It is amazing. It's never, I mean, Kevin, you remember way back when you started like doing B2Bs? Remember the month when you looked up and you said to yourself, wow, I have 3 loans in process from, you know, Betty Boop right now. And normally I only have 1. What is going on? Like, where did they come from? Like, where did these extra loans come from? Did the agent give them to another LO and now they're giving them to me? Let me give you guys the answer. No, that is not the answer. They just didn't get them to you when they could have. They didn't necessarily pick another LO. They just didn't tackle the person and say, you got to go to Kevin. The only reason they didn't do that is, what are the 2 best sales techniques? Guilt and sympathy. Guilt and sympathy only come with emotions. You got to genuinely like someone to feel those things. As soon as your agent partners start feeling those things, it's game, set, match. And you just keep going up, 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 up. Now, Kevin, you talked about being visible in the market. I want everyone to get the right message from you because you're very visible. Those of you that aren't connected or don't follow Kevin, Josh, will you just find it, just pull up his Instagram, just throw it in the chat. If you don't follow Kevin's Instagram, he's very active poster. He's very active at staying in front of people, staying in touch. But remember, everyone, it's very important. He's not using his social media to get like cold leads. Okay. He's using this like a billboard. This is the 2021 billboard. Social media is your billboard. Okay. It is the easiest way to stay out there and stay in front of people as long as you're relevant. They want to open your stuff and they want to look at it. And Kevin goes from something more serious to, you know, what's that thing you were riding down the hall on that you probably should have had a helmet on? You know, all types of different, that one wheel, or whatever that thing you had. There's all types of, what'd you say?
A hoverboard.
Yeah, hoverboard. Kevin, tell these guys, what type of events do you do? What type of things do you do to get agents to come out? I mean, are you bringing in a suit guy? Are you bringing in what are you doing to get agents to come out consistently?
We've done a mixture, Joel, over the years. We've done a mixture. So I've always tried to come from the stance of adding value. You know, these agents, as everyone knows, are poached on a daily basis by lenders and title companies. So we've brought speakers in. I have personally presented one of my favorite books, The 12-Week Year. I presented to a group of agents. We've done workshops. We've done pure, like, hey, just come drink. We've done realtor appreciation events where it's just kind of like a drinking thing. Really anything just to have some fun and get them out. But we've also tried, like I said, we've tried to come before COVID hit, we were doing a monthly mastermind of some sort, where we would bring someone in or present on a topic or interview a top producing agent in the area. Recently, we teamed up with a builder, and we brought in a limo bus and did like a tour of a new construction plan, which was cool because the builder loved it, the agent loved it. It was good visibility for us. All sorts of stuff, man. We try to keep it fresh and mix it up.
Yeah, I've done an event for Kevin in Pittsburgh, an agent event, and it was lots of fun. He packed the house. Everyone was having a really good time, and that's the key, is getting people laughing and getting people having fun. And you know, I don't know if you heard this, but he said it pretty fast. But you notice he didn't say teaching the agents how to do FHA loans. You know, you notice. Hopefully, you didn't hear any of that. You're better off just giving the agents your phone number, and that's your whole presentation, and say, call me if you have a question. I mean, that's the last thing you want to be teaching agents. Okay. You could teach them lots of other cool stuff. You could bring in maybe an accountant that specializes in self-employed borrowers, to teach them how to not get in trouble when they're doing their taxes, whatever. But he's doing all kinds of fun stuff. If you follow him, you'll see a lot of the fun stuff that he's doing. Kevin, regarding work ethic, I love to hear, when people use the term work-life balance, and I want to make sure you all heard this. By the way, Kevin's not saying not to work. What he's saying is what kind of work are you doing? And for those of you that can't understand or don't know why these agents won't stop calling you at 10 o'clock at night and won't stop, being batty with you, it's because you do not have a deep relationship with them. When your relationship goes deeper, they know exactly where you are. Kevin has partners right now. They know he is at the Bills' home game. They know he's there. By the way, if they call him, he would still probably pick them up, but they know he's there. They're not going to call him. They may call him right after if they really need him, if they got a reload, if something's going on, whatever. But most of them are going to wait till Monday morning and call him. Okay. The only reason they're doing that is not because he yelled at them or put some weird message. Do not get the wrong message from him on this. Okay. He did not tell them not to. He just built a relationship deep enough where they don't wanna, because they actually like him. Okay. And they don't need to go to another loan officer. They can wait 4 hours. They can wait 6 hours. They know, they genuinely like him, and they actually know where he is. When I was hitting the pinnacle of my sort of origination career, I used to have somebody that came in at 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday mornings. Back then, all the contracts were faxed. They weren't emailed. It was impossible to deal with it in an email. They were faxed, and I just had someone taking the contracts off the fax. There'd be 15, 16, 17, 18, sometimes 20 of them on a Monday morning, because everybody would wait until Monday. They weren't barraging me on Sunday. Okay, because I had worked hard to get them to like me. Kevin, what would you say are one or two of the best activities everyone on this call can do right now? As soon as we get off the phone, nobody can complain. Oh, Kevin has a bigger team. Oh, Kevin's been in the business longer than me. Wah! That everybody can do immediately.
Man, I think the biggest thing is increasing your visibility on social. That if I could choose one thing that has helped me the most throughout my 5-year career of doing this, I would probably say visibility on social media is huge. And it's, don't use the canned BS that your company prepares for you. Most of that stuff is a marketing person that has no idea what agents are actually looking for. Be genuine. Come up with the content yourself. I think take like 10 minutes to actually think about putting a post together that's going to be relevant, that agents are going to engage with and share. I think that's important. And then Joel is the best at this, but don't forget how important the relationships are. I mean, that is all this business comes down to. If you have the relationship, you don't even have to be the best loan officer. I mean, if you close on time and maybe you don't have all the fancy systems and tools in place with the cool emails and the videos and the updates and all the stuff that we've implemented over the years, as long as you close on time and pick up your phone and you have a deep relationship, I mean, that's it. I mean, Get visible. You got to get visible in order to get your at-bats, though. You're not going to get at-bats if you're not visible. So increasing your visibility is huge. Then once you get the at-bats, you got to hit the home run.
By the way, did y'all catch that? 5 years. This guy's been in the business 5 years. So don't think you got some old pro that just looks young there. 5 years. This is totally doable. But there's a secret little 4-letter word that Kevin uses all the time, and it doesn't start with F. It starts with W, and it's called work. He actually works. And that's why I wanted to make sure none of you all got caught off in this work-life balance. Oh, Kevin said I should turn my phone off at 4. Wah! The 2-hour work week. Wah! No. There's not a loan officer in the country. And by the way, I'm a blessed guy. I know some of the best ones. I work with some of the best ones in the country. There's not one out there anywhere ever from the top of the Scotsman's Guide down that is not an ass kicker, that's got a lot of grit, that runs through walls, not over, around, or stares at the wall and goes, how am I going to get around the wall? I think I'll take 3 days and figure it out. No, they just go through the wall. Okay. All of these people do, all of the ladies and all of the men. It has nothing to do with whether you're a guy, a female or a male. They all have that in common. Okay. Nobody's scared to go get it. And let me tell you, in this kind of market, if you're not getting it right now, you're crazy, because we're in a great market right now. It's chilled out. There's not 27 offers on each property now. Now it's down to a nice mellow 8 or 9, which means it's much more doable. By the way, the best loan officers right now, these guys and ladies have 50, 60, 70, 80 butts in cars, BICs sitting around. I mean, lots of them to close that type of volume. Kevin, where do you see prognosticating a little bit? I read an article this morning. I've been talking about this for a couple of years now with the shortage, but they said we're 5 million houses short. I thought it was 3 million. 5 million houses short for the people that want to buy the houses. And they said there's no end in sight for solving that. They're not just gonna build, or 5 million properties are not just gonna come on the market. Where do you see it for the next year, couple of years? You can be local to your market. I mean, where do you see Pittsburgh, which I know is a big up and coming growing city?
The market's definitely contracting, Joel. I mean, I think over the last 24 months, it's been extremely easy to do business if you're a loan officer. And I think it's going to contract with, rising rates. Rates are obviously on their way up, and they're headed up. And I just think that if you're this $10 to $15 million LO that doesn't have solid relationships, I mean, you're going to get eaten up, because on these offers, when you have 6 buyers going in, these listing agents, man, I'm telling you right now, like, our offers win because they know our reputation. I mean, I tell every agent and borrower we work with, we've closed 1,600 loans over the last 4 years. We've denied 2. You know what I mean? So like, your quality of your pre-approval is just really going to make a difference. And when you can confidently tell people that, like, no matter what happens we can't control what's going to happen in the stock market, what's going to happen to rates, but we can control our reputation and how we conduct our business. And I feel like the LOs that are issuing the very strong pre-approvals, you're going to continue to do business. In our local market specifically, Joel, the amount of bank business that's still being written, it makes me sick. Like the fact that Quicken Loan is a top 5 lender in Pittsburgh, man. I mean, it's disgusting. Dollar Bank, PNC, Wells Fargo, like, there's still so much business for the taking. And I'm sure this is just like everyone's market. So it goes back to increase your visibility to show why are you a better option than Quicken Loans, Wells Fargo, Dollar. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it comes down to. And even though the market will contract, if you have a good business plan and game plan put together, I don't think your business should keep going up.
Yeah, and what a great you all have heard me saying that. I didn't tee him up to say that, but you're not going to be able to hang if you're just piddling around, being lazy, not doing the correct activities. I mean, you are not a guy like a Kevin is going to eat your lunch. You're not going to be able to see around him. You're going to you're going to see an agent. You're just going to see his body in front, and you're not going to be able to get around it. And you still have time to get it together. But when these rates pop up, and they will, which, by the way, is my favorite time, because that's when the T-Rexes come out and just eat all the little dinosaurs, and there's just bones everywhere, and I think it's hilarious. I mean, I truly think it's funny when all the loan officers are whining. I love when they whine, Kevin, and they're like, I need my own LOA. You know, I'm still, you're like, you were closing 11 refis a month. Now you're closing one purchase. You don't need an LOA. I think you can handle it on your own. You know what I mean? No, but I mean, this is what happens. This is exactly, and I've seen this 3-4 times, you know, in my career. I mean, this is exactly what happens. And these people are not doing the core activities, and these agents are not going to give them the time of day when they come out of their little hidey hole. And you're already seeing that with the listing agents. I think Pittsburgh is a great cross-section market applicable to anyone on here. It's, you know, any town USA, but it's a big town. You know, it's a big city with big sports and stuff like that. Kevin, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but John has said your average loan amount would go up if you were a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He just threw that in there for you. But you know, I think you're right. I hope everybody heard that, man. It is go time. You want to get jacked up, I dare you to join that crush group on Friday, because we go through all this stuff. And Kevin started talking about quality of pre-approvals, which we're at 228 right now, and I promise all these guys like Kevin 30 minutes because he's busy, so we won't even go deep on that. But we can have him back on if you want and talk about that, the actual quality of the pre-approvals. We could go for a whole half hour on that, meaning on really docking files, okay, which is a big conversation. So everyone, you know, again, Kevin, I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. You got any parting words for this crew? Not, if you don't, it's okay, but any parting words?
One thing I was going to mention, Joel, was
yeah.
So obviously, you know, and I hear and see this all the time between, you know, just colleagues, people I interact with. Like, everybody wants to grow their business, but it's if you are willing to do what it takes to grow your business. And to me, it's just so easy. Like, it is so easy to go out and get business right now, but you have to take action. Like, we're doing, we teamed up with an agent on Thursday where we're just doing a broker's open. We're bringing drinks and small apps, and we got like 25 agents coming to it. Like, you guys want something simple that you don't need a team to do? Call one of your agents and find one of their hottest listings and tell them you're going to organize an event with them. You put it together on Facebook, you click the invite button about 60 times, you're going to have 20 agents show up. And next thing, that's going to convert to 5 deals. Like, it is so easy to get business, but you have to go do the actions. So that's what I'll leave you with.
All right. So final words are: stand up, look at your chair. If your chair looks like an imprint of your butt cheeks, you're doing this wrong. Okay? Get up and take action. It's just not that hard. And Kevin is right, but everybody makes it so hard. So everyone, thank you again for tuning in. This is on YouTube. It's on Facebook if you want to see it again. Thank you, Kevin O'Loughlin. As always, love having you on. Movement Mortgage, Pittsburgh, PA, grinder, killer, big unit doer. Go Bills. And that was for you. That was for you, John Hess.
And yeah. Further, I just want to put this for the record: Adam Delmonica will never beat me in units ever. So I just want to get that out there. So Adam, you better step your game up.
I like that. Just so you know, that is now in perpetuity on YouTube. And if Hung Lee was here, he would say, Kevin O'Loughlin, it would take a hurricane for you to beat me in units. That's from Hung Lee.
We now have receipts. We got receipts.
Actually, he might be on. He might be on here snooping, not with his camera not on. So everyone, thank you so much. We'll talk to you all next Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you, Kevin O. We really appreciate your time. Crush Group Friday, new one. Anyone interested? Let us know. Got 2 slots.